So in today's class we are discussing a case study. So majority of you will be familiarized with the case study competitions. Okay. So if not, I'll give a brief on that. So these are competitions where you will be provided with a case problem. That is a situation with some problems and you need to find the solution for the same. There are many case study competitions conducted by the renowned universities, colleges, which are mainly based on economics, supply chain management, finance, politics, and all. So, what I'm discussing in this video is a case study competition conducted in an event named Arthatantra. So, this was under a college of Delhi University. Okay. So in Delhi University, there are many case study competitions conducted mainly in the domains of economics, finance, and what to say, supply chain management, politics, and all. So I'll be going with briefing these case studies in this class, and the solution for the same will be provided in the next video. Okay, let's move to the case study. So the case scenario is begun with the famous renowned words of Adam Smith. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard for their own interest. So this is an economics related case study. It is mainly regarding the international ties that will benefit India. So let's move to the introduction of the case scenario. India, with the world's second largest armed force and fifth largest economy by GDP, assumes a growing international influence and a prominent voice in global affairs. India's external affairs are shaped by a range of factors, including its strategic location, economic interest, historical ties, and security concerns. It becomes indispensable for India to maintain strategic ties with major economies like Russia, China, US, and Japan. And under we'll get 4 questions. So they are not it. They are not the case problems that need to be breakdown. Okay, they are just some questions inside the case scenario to give you hints on how to prepare the solution. Okay, so the first question is, but is it simple to gain control of every country given that relationships with one country entail the sacrifice of another? Okay, so the world is aware of the growing aspiration of China as an emerging superpower striving to overtake the US. China has been the world's biggest exporter of goods and commodities since 2009 and also India's second largest trading partner and provides the biggest market for India. With increasing bilateral trade between India and China in the last few years, many Indian companies have started setting up Chinese operations to service both their Indian and MNC clients in China. However, China's growing negative influence in the Indo-Pacific region was countered by the US, Japan, Australia, and India, forming a Quad. The three countries have also been working to promote greater trade and investment ties through initiatives such as the US Japan India Trilateral Infrastructure Partnership. Next cue. China has indeed received a severe blow by the Quad group. But given that India is a member of the other two groups, that is BRICS and G20, along with China, so will China harbor resentment towards India there? Okay. So from the overall analysis, we can get that the US, which after World War II is the greatest economy worldwide and is now India's largest trading partner, helped India progress economically and technologically. We know the hegemony, like structural hegemony that US has in all over the globe. Okay, whether it be defense, whether it be culture, the hegemony of US exists now also. So coming to the business, the US businesses have increased their operations in India because they see it as a crucial market, and it has also backed India's application for a permanent seat in the UN Security Council. The US and Japan have a close relationship from which India benefits politically and economically, as the amiable relationships with the most developed economies give India a leg up on its Asian rivals including Pakistan and China. Next cue. Again, these are not the questions where the problem breakdown is demanded, required. These are the questions which give you idea on how the case study is. Okay. So, the brutal Cold War struggle for supremacy between the US and China puts India in conundrum to deepen ties with any one of the nations, but the question is which one? Okay. So this is what the case study is coming to. To which nation we need to keep the ties, deepen the ties. Okay. India's main defense partner, Russia, has provided India with cutting-edge weaponry. S-400 air defense system is an example for that. Russia is India's main supplier of crude oil. However, it is challenging for India to continue its strategic cooperation with Russia given the deterioration in US and Russian relations as a result of the Ukraine war. China has seized the opportunity and reached out to Russia, which has grown into a stronger force against the US. Given the intricate strategic situation, can India sustain its links with Russia for an extended period of time? This suggests that two potent oppositional groups have emerged. There are India, US, Japan, and India, China, Russia. And India will eventually have to select one of them. Decide which group's advantages outweigh the disadvantages of the other as a policymaker and not a bureaucrat. Okay, so this is what the case study is all about. Which group India will select? India need to select according to your analysis. So group A, India, US, Japan. Group B, India, China, Russia. Cool? So the questions that we need to answer in the case problem breakdown, case solution is understanding the strategic relations, analyze in detail the current standing that India has amongst the four nations, US, Japan, China and Russia. Then provide a clear trajectory of reasoning for choosing the group A or B and explicitly explain its preference over the other. Discuss the main factors that would influence India's choice between the two groups, such as economic ties, security concerns, geopolitical alignment, strategic relations, and shared values. Identify the potential risk and benefits of aligning with either group and how can India mitigate any negative consequence. Discuss the long-term strategic goals, that is, future prospects of India's foreign policy and how do they align with the interests of India, US, Japan or India, Russia, China. So this is basically, okay, just give you arguments of selecting one over the other. And all these factors have to be considered though. So this case problem was of 4 slides, a PDF of 4 pages. And the first and last, that is first was of the welcome slide and the last slide was of the guidelines. So, if speaking of the content, 2 pages, 2 slides include the case scenario. Okay, and again, it is required 10 slides, including the welcome and conclusion slide to be presented. So that's it. Thank you.